What's up, Sam?
Hi, hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing so great. I'm so excited to be talking to you.
I'm excited to talk to you. What's up?
Well, I'm calling because, it's kind of a long story. Let's see where to start. If you don't mind, could I just read this email that I sent? It kind of has it all.
Yeah, you got it.
there.
I haven't seen the email, so yeah, feel free to read it
Great.
and just go line by line. All good.
Great. Okay, stop me at any point. It says, hello, my name is Sam. I'm a 30-year-old female. I just turned 31. My partner and I, Randy, he's also 30.
Are y'all married, dating?
Dating.
Okay.
We've been together for about 7, almost 8 years. And when we first got together, we were very already deep into drug addiction.
What kind?
Of fentanyl and meth.
Okay.
Deep stuff. And heroin. It was rough. Can't sugarcoat it. It is what it is.
No, dude, that was amazing. If you go back and listen to the tape, I intentionally left a gap because that's usually how it goes. So fantastic.
Yep.
Like fentanyl
I could
and
go
meth
on.
and heroin. Okay. All right. So
And I could go on and on, but those were the main ones.
I know you could. So you were you were running and chasing ghosts for a long time.
Truly. Yep. Long time. Long time.
Okay.
And so we got together in 2016 and only got worse and worse into it. Drug dealing, homelessness, the whole shebang.
Mm-hmm.
About as bad as you can imagine it, is about it as bad as it got. And then one day, sure, go on.
Are you glossing over it for me or for the listener or for you?
I'm glossing over this part because it's not the main part of my question.
Okay, but before we go,
important detail.
Okay, all right, go for it.
It's wildly important.
Okay.
So we did that, and then about 2.5 years ago, my boyfriend, partner, and I were sitting at home, and I started to have pains in my abdomen, and then about 25 to 30 minutes later, we had a full baby.
Okay, how far along were you?
She was born about 3 weeks early, is what I was told.
And you had no,
so pretty much the whole
you had no idea?
No idea the whole time. I think also denial is hugely a big part of it.
Okay, so you had a baby and people didn't ask you about it? You weren't showing?
Nope, no one asked me about it. It was maybe less than a week before she was born when my partner was like, hey, I think you might be pregnant. I think what happened was she started to descend to be born, and that's when my belly started to show.
Okay.
So we kind of just sat on that for a little bit. As addicts, we kind of just ignored everything.
Okay.
Sat on that for a couple days, and then she was just born.
Okay. So did you have the baby at home?
Yes. Yeah, she was born in our bedroom. My partner, Randy, he delivered her.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay. So you have a baby, and were you still using actively at the time?
Correct. Heavily.
Okay.
Again, we didn't know we were pregnant until the last bit of it, and then she was born. It was all very chaotic. But very healthy, perfect. She had some withdrawals, obviously, but other than that, perfectly healthy.
Did you lose custody?
Briefly.
How long?
About 3 months.
Okay. And then did you have to go in every day and test?
Well, what we did is my partner and I, we decided to move into a long-term treatment program.
Okay.
So we were there for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years.
Okay. So as a part of, after 3 months, the people at the rehab facility vouched for you enough and your blood tests were clean enough that they let you have your baby. Did you get access, 24/7 access, or just limited access?
Yes. Nope, 24/7. She was fully ours.
Okay.
And then after 6 months, we They dropped the CPS case. Everything has been dropped.
Okay.
We are now living in our own apartment. I also have a son who was born a year after my daughter, and everything's going great.
Okay.
They're both extremely healthy, extremely happy. Our bills are paid on time. Everything's going fantastically. We did it. We did it.
Are you sober?
Super sober.
Is
Dead sober.
boyfriend sober?
Completely sober.
Why hasn't he married you yet?
I
7
think,
years, 2 kids.
Yeah. Well, I haven't really found a whole lot of importance in getting married. It's, a lot's happened.
Okay.
A lot more important things have happened. We're fighting to get our kid back, and having another kid, and in rehab, and getting sober.
A thing that would give you some peace in your nervous system is stability.
Yes. I think you're absolutely right.
Somebody looking you in the eye and saying, ride or die till death does us part. Yes.
And honestly, he is so on board and game. He would marry me right now if I asked him to.
Well, that's his. I'm a traditionalist. I'm kind of an old fuddy-duddy, but okay. So go ahead.
Yeah.
What's your question?
I'm definitely sure we will get married eventually. I'm sure of it.
What's your question?
A little bit backwards, but as they get older, what and how do I tell them all the things that we've been through?
All the things you've been through, you don't.
Very valid.
Hold on. I need you to hear me
sure.
very carefully on this, okay? The people that I know and love that have struggled with meth, people I know and love who struggle with heroin, often feel the need to enter a room and let that be their calling card for entry. Because here's what I know about you. You've seen dark stuff. Fair?
True.
You've done things that would rattle the mind of the average listener of this show, right?
Yeah.
I've sat with you before. Not you particular, but people in your situation.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see a little baby and you recognize that if you were using as heavily as you tell me you were, and I bet you're underselling it a bit, and they're telling you that baby's safe and baby's healthy and baby's neurologically okay.
Yep.
You know in your soul you dodged a missile.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the longer you hang on to that, the longer your kid absorbs that nervous system of yours. Be grateful beyond measure for every second of every day. And don't walk around the world with a scarlet A around your neck about what you used to do, about what things happened. Because here's what I know about you. Growing up for you was hell, wasn't it?
No. Honestly, my parents married the whole time. They just celebrated 39 years.
And then how'd you get off the rails?
I just trusted people that I shouldn't have. It was a boyfriend that I had years ago, and he just asked me to smoke something with him and didn't know what it was. And man, do you get hooked on that fast?
Yeah, you do. Okay, so you're one of the rare ones. I was wrong. You're one of the rare ones that I'll trust you. I don't fully believe you, but I'll trust you that everything was great and rosy. Very, very rare. Okay?
Yeah.
But you and I both know that when that stuff hooks you, it starts the merry-go-round.
Yeah.
I'll do anything to get it. And then I've got to get more to forget what I just did to get it.
Right.
And the loop doesn't stop and doesn't stop and doesn't stop. And then the things to get it become crazier and more like, whoa. And then the need to cover up gets deeper, right?
True. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Are you a good mom?
I am doing my absolute best.
Nope. That's not what I said. Are you a good mom?
Yes, I'm a great mom.
That's your new calling card. That's who you are. That's your identity.
Okay. That's perfect. I love that.
Sorry. No, don't be sorry. See, you're already walking it back. Don't be sorry. You have nothing to be sorry about. You literally have been to hell as described in the Bible, and you're back.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough, but it was...
And you're a good mom.
Thank you.
Is boyfriend a good man?
The best. I've never met a better man in my life.
What's he do for work?
He does landscaping currently.
Okay.
And we're getting ready to move in a couple months to Pennsylvania to be closer to my family and my parents. And then he's going to go back to school for welding.
Incredible. Are you connected to your mom and dad?
I am. Extremely, yep.
Is that a safe place?
Extremely, yep.
Are you able to walk into that home with your head held high?
Yes, yep.
And they don't shame you?
Sure.
And they don't throw sticks and rocks at you?
Never.
Okay. Then get back there as soon as you can.
All right.
And now listen, when it comes to telling your kids, as things come up, you might tell them, Mom used to be really sick.
Okay.
Mom used to be real sick. I was sick for a long time. And some of the medicines I tried to use to make myself not sick made things worse. And then one day you're going to find one of your kids with a vape pen in their room, or they're going to find, they're going to come home late. They're going to be like, "You don't know anything, Mom." Ah! Right? Just like you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you can say, "Hey, I know."
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
And
that's perfect.
They never need to know the black hole stuff.
Good.
That doesn't mean you're lying to them. Doesn't mean you're hiding from them. Okay?
Okay, good.
And there may come a day when you look at your kid when they're 16, 17, 18, and they're going through their own struggles, and you say, I used to have a pretty significant problem with drugs, and I had to surrender, and I had to say I'm sorry. And maybe as they get older, you can tell them about how hard your childhood was. Their childhood was. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Are you still walking around feeling guilty a lot?
I try not to, but you know how it is.
I don't.
Yeah. It's what happened, and all I know is that we did everything in our power to right as many wrongs as we could. And we didn't wait to do it either. Like we did a lot of things right in the fact that because it's easier when you think you're only hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But then we weren't just hurting ourselves anymore, and someone else needed us. So we did that because it wasn't enough for us to just get better for ourselves.
But you know as well as I do, that's the only way it stays long term.
Yes. Yep.
And Sam, hear me as direct as you can. As you can. You're worth getting well for.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. That really means a lot to me.
You're worth waking up and having coffee and smiling, and you're worth the sunshine coming up, and you're worth your rent being paid, and you knowing that nobody can take your house away.
Yeah.
You're worth having some knuckleheaded husband wake up, walk around the house in his underwear, and you'd be like, ugh, right? You're worth all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, just the normal everyday stuff that everybody gets to experience, and I get to have it now, and it's so, so, so good.
Will you promise me you'll never use again?
I promise.
Do you have a sponsor to call?
I don't have a sponsor, but I live directly across the street from my rehab, so I can just walk right across the street.
You won't have that in Pennsylvania.
That is true, and I only know my parents there.
So that's not going to be the place. So you have to promise me and everybody listening to the show The first call you will make and your husband will make before you turn on the electricity and the internet is to find the local meeting, and you're going to go.
Okay, perfect. I will do that.
Is that fair?
It'll be our first date night.
That's the strangest date night, but go get them. All right, but listen, you're going to be in a new place, and you're going to have a strangely familiar feeling to that place.
Yeah.
And the old demons are there. You're going to run into old people that you knew. All the stuff, right?
Well, I don't know I've never been to the East Coast like that.
It's a new place?
It's going to be a completely new start.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you know as well as I do, you can walk into a room of 1,000 people and take one glance across the room, and you know exactly where the coke is. You know exactly where the heroin is. Right?
I try not to walk into buildings.
I know, but you can walk into a coffee shop and be like, I'm going to give that guy $40. It's a strange superpower. It is.
But I'm also grateful for that because it helps me.
Stay
I try
away.
to make all of it as difficult as possible.
That's right.
I cut everybody off that I used to know.
Good.
I'm not in contact with a single person.
Good.
It would be extremely difficult for me to get drugs today if I wanted to. Not that I want to, but I've purposely put up roadblocks.
Sam, you can go to Whole Foods right now and find it, and you know that now.
That's true.
You could. And
that's true.
I'm really proud of you every day for waking up and making a choice not to. It's hard.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, your babies need a clear-eyed mom who loves herself enough to take care of herself, to exercise, to eat right, to get some sleep. They deserve a dad who's working his butt off, making some money, getting a career, doing all those things.
Yep.
And
they do.
And so do you.
Oh.
And you're the person who's left yourself out of this equation. We're done with that. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, there will come a moment in 15 or 16 years when you need to sit down with your kids and say, "Hey, I've been there too."
Okay, good. But they don't need to know everything. They don't. I'm not lying to them. I'm not keeping anything from them.
If your kid says, "Hey, have you ever done X, Y, and Z for money, Mom?" you will say, "I'm not telling you anything about that part of my life." Period.
Okay, great. Boundaries, clear set boundaries. I love that.
And your parents are great people, you say?
It's phenomenal. Fantastic.
What would you think if you sat down something as benign as, "Hey, Mom, what's the wildest night of sex you and Dad ever had?"
Oh, God.
Right? What would you hope she said? "I'm not telling you that." Right? Yep. I'm never going to talk to you about that because I want to preserve your soul, right? You don't need to know that.
Great.
And it wouldn't be a lie. It would be her saving your life. Right? And so similarly, they don't get access to everything you did. There may be a moment when some of the corners of hell where you spent some time, it might be a gift to them. And as you begin to make meaning and transition your identity away from a person who did all these things to someone who's a freaking amazing mom and stronger than anybody else in the Mother's Day Out pickup line, right?
Yeah.
As you transition your identity to that, you're going to have less and less need to go back to those old memories.
Oh,
you're freaking Sam, dude. A great mom.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you.
Now, tell that goofball to marry you. It's time. 7 years. Good?
Okay. Yeah, we'll do.
Quit getting all sophisticated about it. It's what got you in this mess in the first place. Go marry him. All right? Hey, I'm super grateful for you, and I'm proud of you. 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 To hell and back. You cannot go back and undo and change anything that's happened. You can make tomorrow different. And it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a slog. And it's going to be a uphill battle. And Sam, you're doing it. And I'm super, super proud of you. Amazing. Thank you so much for the call.